listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition After Show.
Yay! We are all together today. This is our very first episode of Abby's Ultimate After Show.
Right.
For Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition.
We changed the name though, Experience.
Oh, that's right.
Right, okay.
Abby's Ultimate Dance Experience.
There we go, Jake.
All co-hosts are here. Hey, everyone. It's Giselle Ugardi, and I would love to introduce my co-host. You know, this guy to my left, the always
Animated.
very animated and enthusiastic.
Hi guys, Jason J. Carter in the hot seat. Glad to be here.
And you may recognize previous guests from our Dance Moms After Show. Across the table from me, now regular co-hosts with us. Gentlemen, please tell everybody who you are.
Hey guys,
Even though they
what's
should
up?
know already.
I'm Cris Cangero, and I'm happy to be here.
Hey everyone, I'm Tony Moore, and I'm excited to be here.
And we are particularly excited today because, once again, we're bringing you dance royalty in the house tonight. We have Mr. Richy Jackson in the house.
Richie Jackson.
Hello, how's everyone doing tonight?
Yeah, squirrels.
A man of many talents, Lady Gaga's creative director for one thing, also a judge on Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys for having me in the extra hot seat.
Oh, yeah. And it is extra hot over there.
Lovely.
The light's good there, Richie. You're good.
I
You're
love
good.
the light. Thank you
There
guys.
are fireworks coming off of your vest. I
You're
love
just
it.
vibrating.
It's a sparkly moment, but you know, you can't play with the kids. They try to judge you.
Oh, hey. I love it. I love it. Well, I mean, this episode is all about being the character and really being comfortable in your skin. So,
Yes.
hey, it worked.
Thank you.
And remember, everyone at home, everyone watching, whether you're watching tomorrow on YouTube or watching right now on our website, I'm always live tweeting at Giselle Ugardi. You can also tweet AfterBuzz TV. And, of course, you can also join the conversation at 424-256-1729. And also, I just got a tweet and a text. So, engineers back there, be ready because we're actually having one of the dance moms call in tonight, Miss Yvette.
Yes.
Uh-oh. And the drama ensues.
Some people hate her. I personally love her.
I'm
She's
in.
one of my favorites.
I love Yvette.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at her. Listen, she's someone's mom and, you know, Hadley's mom.
And she's a dance
I
studio
love
owner.
Hadley.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
fighting for her daughter.
There you go.
She fighting
With
for
the
something.
smile.
It
on
is
her face.
$100,000.
It is.
I mean, but that's
Dancing for your dreams.
let's keep it real. That's no money though. After tax and everything, that's about $25,000. You know, I mean, come on.
Not
now.
that much.
That's a smart car.
Right?
All right, well, let's get right into it. We've already sent two, home, packed their bags.
It was not their
Bye-bye.
day.
And
not.
today
Was not
is
their
not
day.
your day. Richie, how many times would you say on average Abby has to say that line over and over? Does she get it the first time, or is it one of those
No,
one
you
more
know,
time?
No, Abby gets it right away. They're like, yes, thank you, that was great.
Richie, I would love for her to say it in Spanish. How do you say it in Spanish? Like today es un día.
Hoy
Hoy.
estudia.
Hoy estudia. Hoy estudia.
Estudia.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna try it, but yeah, Abby, there you go. Hashtag get it together.
Yeah, no, Abby loves that line.
Oh,
Hoy
man.
es un día.
It doesn't have the same sax as it does in Spanish.
It's on how you say it though.
Like, today is not your day. See how sassy that was?
But you have the head
take,
going.
See, that's the one
Done.
thing. Got it. Book me.
Tony, you have to add the little hair flip in there.
The little hair flip. Today is not your day.
Clank.
All right, well, let's get right into the episode. I know we could chat and have fun all day long, and
Yes.
I wish we could do that all night long. So this week's challenge is duets. The theme of the final competition will be American extremes, okay? Getting into extreme character, whether it's physically, emotionally, choreographically. They got to put it out there. And first we have the preliminary challenge. The challenge is character, and the winner of this preliminary challenge will get to pick their partner for the duet. We had, and also another new thing we had this week, we have a group challenge, which is a little different.
Yes.
So we have the first dance. It's choreographed by Kitty McNamee. There we go.
You butchered that last time.
And what's funny is that I actually wrote down the phonetic pronunciation and I still butchered that one. So Kitty.
Kitty,
Sorry, Kitty. I know she's talented. She was awesome. But okay, so she says, think of a moment in your life when you wanted something and you realized that you weren't going to get it. What did you guys think of this performance? They didn't have a lot of time to prepare, but they went for it.
I thought it was good. I thought, a lot of dancers always draw from personal experience to emote and to really make the choreography come to life. So I thought that was perfect. I mean, we've all gone through something in our lives that we can identify with and correlate with the choreography. So it was perfect. And Kitty's that type of choreographer that, her along with Mia Michaels and all these contemporary choreographers, that's what fuels their creativity is actual life experiences. So it was perfect for these kids.
Yeah. At first I was like, these are kids. Like, what are they going to draw from? Like, I wanted to go outside and my mom would not let me go. But
one of them.
Right. But they were amazing and they really got into it. So I was like, kudos to y'all for finding your character and really driving some stuff home. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't work.
I really like the addition of the group dance challenge or the group dance performance.
Yeah.
Richie, did you see any standouts?
I mean, of course, the standout obvious was, I wanted to call her the fat girl. I can't call her the fat girl.
Brianna.
Thank you, Brianna. Obviously she stood out amongst the rest. The fact that she was even still twirling the way she was in that suit was amazing. But it's a trip because even in talking about getting to the character, everyone else played the other kids, most of the kids, the ones who are non-bullies. So for me, from a judge standpoint, I was like, yeah, good job, you all, the rest of you all, but you're doing something that you've been doing.
Right.
Yeah.
You haven't been bullied, so you were just like, yes, I'm living.
Yeah.
What about in the preliminary challenge, though? Did you think Lexine deserved to win?
Yes, of course. When I watched Lexine dance, especially in that moment, even what she spoke was like everything. How she just let it go. She came with the story in her head. I felt like she was very divested in the story, and I was like, yes, you're the one. Yeah.
I thought Lexine kind of made a little bit of a breakthrough this episode.
Yeah.
She always came, off to me as this little girl who was really quiet and reserved. Every single time she opened her mouth this episode, she was so well-spoken, so articulate.
Really well-spoken.
Yes. Whether it was the reason why she picked Hadley for a duet partner, she said, I want someone who's at the top of their game, who's going to challenge me to improve. She made up her own mind, and I also
that was
loved
a great answer.
her mom let her make up her own mind,
Yeah.
which
I love that
normally
too.
the moms are going, no, you have to do this, da-da-da. So I loved that her mom just really let her do her thing. And then, she really put herself into character. She described where she was, what she
Yes.
felt like she was missing. And then also another standout, you mentioned Brianna. Tears on the dance floor again.
I mean,
What did we think about these tears?
Breakdown City. I mean, I've had a couple of breakdowns in my life, but that one was just Oscar worthy. I mean,
It was genuine, though.
genuine.
I know.
Totally genuine.
And I know. It was just the ugly cry. It was just the way it came about that was really. I mean, you can't control how you feel, how your emotions come out to play. But that one was just like she was smiling all of a sudden. It was like, it was just really bad. But in her defense, though, I thought Brianna was amazing, and I thought that her being able to just let it all go and to really be vulnerable, especially on television as someone at that age and that situation and that environment was very noble of her. So the kudos to you, Brianna. # you are the bomb.
Well, and last week we were talking about how here's Elizabeth kind of being the crybaby of the group.
Right.
And I'm glad that she took a little backseat for this episode.
Yes.
I think she did enough crying last week that she needed to just sit back with a box of tissues and just cool out for a second.
And Brianna had a legitimate, I think, being in her age group and I've been bullied before. Her tears were legitimate. I mean, I'm also from divorced parents, so I get Elizabeth, but it just seemed like Elizabeth's tears were like, no one understands me because I'm beautiful. It was like very self-centered and shallow.
It was calculated
That explanation was.
calculated.
There was also a distinct difference because I felt like Brianna was trying to hold it back, and she really, really couldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And, Elizabeth, take notes. Rather than using this emotion and these tears as an excuse, here's a way how you can use it as fuel.
Right.
Yeah.
Let, Abby said, use all that pain and all that agony for sweet victory.
Right.
And I thought that was a beautiful moment.
And you have to understand, like, most of these kids are competition kids. And at other competitions, it's all about the technique and the step and the dance. It's never about what you're going through, your emotion. There's never these kinds of
Or emotions
themes.
choreographed.
Right. Or emotions choreographed, ever. It's just like, how good is the technique? How good is the routine? You're done. So these kids, this is the first time they're actually being able to express who they really are. So
Digging
that's why
in.
you're going to probably see a few more tears.
And that's why you probably
sure. Before the season's over.
And that's why you probably saw Lexine come to life or have a breakthrough. Maybe she's always been that person. She's never had the opportunity, to show that person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Once again, Hadley was outstanding. I love Hadley. I don't know
love
how
her
she hasn't
too.
won a challenge yet. I think she's incredible. Yes.
I mean, yeah, Hadley's great and all, and I think she's an incredible dancer, but something about her seems artificial and inauthentic. I think that when Richie, you just touched on, these kids are competition kids. They're very technical and they're very robotic.
Yes.
I feel that that's Hadley. I mean, yeah, in her vignettes on camera when she talks, and Yvette, don't slice me for this one.
Right.
But when she's like really brazen and bold, but then when you see her dance, it's just very like. Fake, I guess. I don't know. She just seems so like Splenda. And I want some sugar in the raw. She's very Splenda.
I love some
I can,
Splenda.
see, I can see what you're saying with that because, one thing about her that I really appreciate is the fact that she's clearly very independent. Even though her mom's very hands-on, even though her mom's a
Yes.
director,
Yes.
she's very independent-minded. You even see her telling her mom, she said stop, why didn't you stop? I'm
love
going to
that,
be
yeah.
professional. You can tell that she's very, mature and professional in that regard, but I can also see how she is a little type A, where she wants to be perfect.
Yes.
And I think Brianna also shares that as a challenge as well, where
Yes.
they need to let the raw
Right.
and not the beautiful princess.
But there's something about Brianna where it still feels like, even though Brianna is, sometimes to me perfect, there's still like a fight factor that she still gets to the level, whereas Hadley may appear just perfect already.
Right.
So it can appear fake because her mom's an instructor.
There's no
Yeah.
like there's no levels. There's no different. It's just always the same. It's for like Maddie on Dance Moms. It's always the same delivery. Sometimes well, some of them want my coffee black. I don't need cream and sugar in my coffee. Whereas Brianna, like you said, she gives you different levels of intensity.
Yeah.
It's just like she's fighting herself. Where Hadley's just I've arrived.
But it's just gonna be crazy when you guys see more of the competition. It's just,
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Can't say too much. Like NDA, sorry.
Well, I will say that it was. I love watching it all the time. I love watching them rehearse. Love seeing them in practice. But yeah, the moms can get a little crazy and
They
they
can.
can
Oh
rub
my
off on
God.
the kids.
They can.
So let's talk a little bit about the Dance Mom Divas that we saw here today. What's with Shayna? Anybody? Tua's mom. We saw her at, I think it was the first or the second episode where Tua came off stage and had messed up, or Abby made some critique about her, and she was like, "Okay, babes, you're going home. You're lost. Let's pack our bags, whatever." This time she goes, "Great, now you're the kid who doesn't learn choreography." Is her mom being pessimistic? Is her mom being realistic? Is her mom playing for the camera? What's going on? This is not appropriate to
It could
me.
be mirrored to both. It could be mirrored to all three. I'm sorry. First of all, I don't. In this type of competition, I honestly feel that the most it's good to push your kid and to really try to get them to be the best. But the way they go about doing it, I think, is so anti. Like, okay, telling your kid, okay, now you're the girl, now you're the fat girl who can't learn choreography. Why are you walking?
She didn't say fat.
I know, but what I'm saying is that
Two separate girls.
I honestly don't think these moms, believe it or not, are playing up for the camera on this show. I really.
You don't?
No, I think it's a little bit more really like this is what's going on.
Yeah.
Because
In some cases, though, they are. You can see the scenes that start off with, "So, tell me about what's going on with you and Yvette." You know,
Yeah.
like,
well,
you were there. You saw.
Yeah.
I mean, the producers have to set it up, of course, but I think when they're talking to their children, though, especially because when you're talking to your child,
Yeah.
that's a whole other experience. And when I'm just cussing out Tony Moore, like, I don't, you're not related to me, but this is my
would never.
blood. You know what I mean? Example. So I think, in conclusion, the answer to the question about the mom, I don't think she's playing for the camera, but I do think that she's negatively impacting her child.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
Richie, what was your involvement with the moms, or did you just show up when you had to judge, or did you ever go into rehearsals?
So what happens is that we basically showed up when it was time to judge. Outside of Abby showing up for the pre-challenge, Rob and I and Abby at that point would show up when it was time to judge. So we never got to actually see what's happened, how they got here. We can only judge off what we saw. Sometimes you'd be like, well, something's a little off, but we can understand why. So even now, as I'm watching the show, I'm like, ooh. Oh my God, the moms! Because even now, like as a performer, though I'm a choreographer, creative director, I still perform. As a performer, I still get nervous. So imagine having to deal with mom arguing, telling you what you should do, how you should wear something like it. I wouldn't know what to do. So I commend these kids because now that I've seen them come on stage and still perform down, I'm like, wow, that's what you went through before you got on stage? Yeah. I'll give you an official finger wave for that.
Yes, finger wave.
Oh, man.
An official finger wave.
Make it official.
Yeah, it's an official.
What do you think about the fact that there is such a big age gap, too?
You know,
and the way that the moms kind of use that sometimes as an excuse or even as, a manipulation.
Well, you know what it is? First of all, I mean, even I have to say, even in taking this job as a judge, I was like 6 to 13. Can they dance? Do 6 to 13-year-olds dance right now?
Yeah, that's more than twice
then
their
when I
age.
got there, I was like, wow, they dance. But what happens is you look at a 6-year-old like Asia, and then you look at a Brianna. Even though the ages are 7 years difference, they're still dancing. It's very competitive. It's very it doesn't feel like you have someone who's less than because she's 6, as opposed to someone who's 13. So what I'm saying is, I think the range is amazing. But what I really love is, yes, everyone does use the ages. It depends on what kind of hand needs to be played.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Then all of a sudden, the moms tend to use everything they can because it's like they're fighting for their lives, which is still a little strange to me.
It's super strange. It's forget living vicariously through your child. You want to be your child. You are your child, and 20 years later,
like to look over to the corner and see the moms doing the steps is still wow to me. Like. They're not doing it.
The mom's crumping.
They know just when something's about to happen, and they're doing it right with them. And I used to be like, look, Abby, look up to the right, and you would see them like,
toddlers and tiaras.
Yes.
Or dance moms.
Right. Yes. The moms are fighting for their lives too. I'm not mad at that.
I love that movie.
I would love
What
to see
did
a
you-
dance dad.
Oh, yeah.
Throw one in there. Throw a dance dad.
Throw one in
Big
there.
old burly, hairy
would be everything.
biker dude that's like, son, those Bob Mozzie did not point your toe. Like, he's like demoing. That would be amazing.
Google Tom Hanks toddlers and tiaras.
Yeah.
It's a spectacle. Christy accused. Well, first of all, we still have drama between Christy and Yvette. They both want the other to leave. Christy makes the accusation that. I don't know what's in my mouth. Christy makes the accusation that Yvette is behaving as though it's a competition among the moms. What do you guys think?
I agree.
I agree. I think there's always going to be drama with Yvette and someone. Like, once Christy leaves, it'll be someone else. Or, I mean, I feel like she's trying to start.
Yvette
Start the pot.
Yvette is
Yeah,
playing
she
the
is.
show like it's Survivor or something. Like, she's trying to get people off the island. Like, she's just, she's a lot.
She's trying to get new registrations at her.
But
her
she's
school.
really good at it, though.
She is. She's
Because
very good at
That's that
manipulating.
smile.
On the one hand, I do think, well, yeah, exactly. On the one hand, I do think that she is stirring the pot a little bit with trying to get Christy to leave. At the same time, you can tell she's fighting for her kid. You know what I mean? Like, and we talked about this last week, is that the way that she's being manipulative, it's not as though she's, trying to take anyone's costume or, ruin their costume. She's really, truly giving critiques that make sense. Smile more, bring out that emotion. She's bringing out the dance director in her, and she is being objective in that way.
Right.
And she's never, to anybody's face at least, saying, "Oh, I know Hadley's better." And I think I'm comparing it to the Dance Moms drama, how we can see them wanting preferential treatment.
Yeah.
She's never thinking, "Oh, Hadley's not getting enough attention. Oh, Hadley needs to be in the center."
Yeah,
She'll
no.
say, "You know what, Hadley, fix your foot." She'll admit when Hadley needs to work on it.
Yes.
And I think that's why I like her so much, is that she
Out to win.
She is out to win.
And there's nothing wrong
but
with
she's
that.
doing it in the right way
Yeah.
because she's playing the game.
It's because
She doesn't have to go around and give constructive criticism to anybody.
And let's be honest, if you were to ask Christy, why don't you like Yvette? she wouldn't be able to give you a specific instance or evidence. She would just say, oh, she smiles. Oh, you can tell she's lying. Oh, you can tell she has two faces. Well, when? You know what I mean?
It's all.
What about last week though, with the divorce and where Elizabeth was crying, and then?
Did you hear that fight though? It was over the stupidest thing. It was. She asked, "How are we going to make Elizabeth ugly?" Well, let's try. Maybe we can cut her hair. Well, that's saying that she's beautiful. Let's try cutting her hair. Maybe
rip out the extensions.
It was the extension.
She said, "Is it the hair or the extensions?"
Yeah.
Yvette, the issue with Yvette is in delivery.
That was a comment.
It's the delivery because
we all have those friends.
Like you said, for sure. Yvette may not directly be a bitch, right?
Right.
But it's because they don't like her delivery and her. She's maybe a tad bit condescending, and in her whole era about her is very like
confident, and
right? And so that's intimidating. And Chrissy probably just doesn't like her. And I'm gonna keep real because she's this blonde white chick. Chrissy's this Latina Chicana chick, and
with the big earrings
and the eyebrows and like the J-Lo baby hair, and it's like this girl, boom. So that's why you're right, Giselle. Yvette gives constructive criticisms, and sometimes they're unsolicited, yes, but because they don't like Yvette overall, that's why there's an issue with it. Because if they liked her, oh, thank you, Yvette, yeah, you're right, oh my God, point your toe, yes, because if they were on her team, it'd be okay.
Thank you for the information, girl.
Right. But
that's what I'd be doing.
Because she's public enemy number one.
Let me see you watch my child.
She tells it like it is, even though it's not always what they want to hear.
Right.
Maybe not always the right time, but she tells it like it is.
There's no tact, it's just blah, and some people don't want that.
I feel like there's a slight motive behind it.
Of course there is.
That's Evette pretending like this show is Survivor and trying to get people off the island.
But you know what?
Just like when she was talking to Shayna, Tua's mom, about like what she needed to do. I felt like that was a way of her saying, I need Asia and Chrissy to go home, so I'm gonna teach you this, so that way you can be up to par with her, and then we gonna get her voted off the island.
But she did give her some real information.
Well,
Tua was a little.
That's very true. That's very true. But I still feel like there was a slight motive of like, we gonna get her off the island.
Well, of course. I mean, the way they was about to get into it the last episode.
Right.
Any smart.
But even if that was her motive, like, you don't have any, like, quote, evidence to prove that. Like, you can assume that, but the way that it looks and the way that she portrays herself is, no, I'm not trying to bash her, I'm trying to make her better.
And that's the brilliance. That's the brilliance of a good, that's a leader, and that's a person who knows what's up.
Maybe she's my kind of girl. I don't know. Maybe that's why I like her.
That is a sneak attack. That's one of them people that you look at like, oh, okay.
At the end of the day, this is again a competition of sorts, and it's survival of the fittest. And if you would be stupid to let your guard down, and Yvette's she's being smart. The evilest people in the world. Hitler was a charismatic, brilliant man, and he was
compare
evil.
Her to Hitler.
I'm just saying. No.
Come on.
Whoa. No.
That's like.
The point I'm making is Yvette is not Hitler, but she knows how to play things. However, she knows how to play things, and she has a strategy that obviously is working. And we got to hand it to her for making it happen.
But at the end of the day, Yvette doesn't have to tell anybody anything.
Right. Yeah.
She could be like, it's all about my child. I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's about to be. Just watch.
Hopefully she'll give us a call at some point during the show and let us know.
That call,
and also, what was I going to say? Oh, the one thing that I do like about her is that she's not living vicariously through her child. Like when she gets so passionate about it, she's really looking at it as a director and as a mom. Mm-hmm. She's not looking at it as like, oh, this was my dream. I wanted to do this. Like the toddlers and tiaras kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And what did we think about the whole Shayna Christy thing, where Yvette went over, gave Shayna this advice about Tua, and then the next day Christy doesn't show up to rehearsal, doesn't bring Asia to rehearsal, the final rehearsal, the day of the show, because she thinks that Yvette gave Tua a private.
Stupid.
It's like
just more drama. Just more drama. She should have been at rehearsal.
She should have.
No matter what happened, what she heard, she should have been there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Walking in with her coffee,
and her iPhone.
Because that's called being a professional.
And the hoops.
Yeah.
You have to remain professional. Because you're going to work with some people that you don't like.
For sure.
But if you don't show up to that meeting, your job's in jeopardy.
Right.
So you always have to be professional. So I think she still should have went no matter what was going on. But
well, and it showed. It showed when the girls lacked a connection, and whether that has to do with the moms or not going to rehearsal, but you could see it.
Yeah.
You could see that there was something missing, that they were both out for themselves.
That's what was missing.
Tua was definitely holding back. Asia was just trying to outshine Tua.
Mm-hmm. But And that's what happened.
Right.
Asia's a little firecracker. I love her.
I know, Asia's
that
hot.
face.
I don't know if it was she was trying to outshine. I think she was just doing what she does.
She was doing her.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think Tua just wasn't up there with her. Like, I felt like her performance, it lacked something. Like, her face was just not.
And they definitely needed the rehearsal together.
Yeah.
So they could understand who was for Fur and who was against Fur, and how do we look at each other, and when do we look out the judges. But when you miss that key element, that's what you get.
Ooh, Christy, is that why you didn't come to rehearsal? Ooh.
Could have been a setup. Could have been a setup.
I didn't even think about that until just now.
Wait, what?
That, like,
Say it again.
maybe that could have been Christy's little play on not showing up for rehearsal or something. Throw her off her game a little bit.
Oh.
It was a duet. They need the connection.
Yeah.
But Asia's got face for days.
Right.
Do you think that some of these dancers, regardless of their age, are a little too reliant on their moms or a little too reliant on the instructors for information and choreography?
I think quite the opposite,
and actions?
actually.
Really?
I'm kind of surprised with their independence. I mean, even Hadley telling her mom how she was like, you should have stayed out of it.
Never!
And it
Like,
looks
I
like
was
we
like,
have a caller. Hello, you're calling an AfterBuzz.
Hey,
Welcome to the party.
and no, you're not Hitler.
I heard that.
For those listeners, in case you couldn't hear through our excitement, we have Yvette from Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition on the show, the star of this current conversation. How are you, Yvette?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for letting me call in.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Evansville, Indiana.
Oh, wow.
Indiana.
Midwest.
You better work.
So you're up late. I would imagine you were working late tonight.
Hey, listen, I say sleep is for wimps, right?
Oh, see? Hitler said the same thing.
And hold it
I'm working. Working that.
Yvette, you always
That's what
have
got me.
Yvette, you always have so
kidding.
much energy. Where does this energy come from? Are you high on life? Are you a coffee drinker?
No, I love coffee, and I said I love cream in my coffee, but I think I'm totally. People in California took me the wrong way, the completely wrong way. I have a ton of energy, and I'm ready to share it with everybody, whether it's my own kid or not. So I was so misread from the get-go with so many of those moms on that show.
Hey, I got you, girl, I think.
Giselle does.
Yeah.
Number one fan. We all love you, though, Yvette. We definitely, out of all the moms on the show, we were saying that, you definitely bring some of the most interesting moments on the show as far as, your critiques and how you handle Hadley and just your overall approach to the show. You don't take any mess. And at the same time, you do it with such finesse. And like I said, when I was comparing you to Hitler, I didn't mean that in a negative connotation. I meant that you're very charismatic and you have a presence about yourself that's very commanding. That's what I meant.
Thank you. And I admit it. I'm a very confident person, but why not? I mean, you get what you expect. And listen, when I teach kids every day, I have to give them confidence so they give it back to me. So, I mean, I give what I expect, and I want to give greatness because I expect greatness in return. Do I get it all the time? Absolutely not. I mean, do kids have bad days? Yes, they do. But I'm there 6 days, and Christy's nose is on my nose. It was out of control.
I know, you guys are making out. I was waiting for a tongue.
Close contact.
Oh, no, wait, it gets better. I mean, in just a little bit, she'll put her breast on my breast and her nose on my nose.
Oh, my God.
And we start doing the shoulder bump.
Wow.
So erotic.
Yeah, what is this
I've
turning
never had
into?
someone invite me 4 different times to take it outside.
Maybe she
Take it outside.
has a crush
We're
on
gonna
you.
Take it outside. I mean, who says that? Kelly called me
TLC.
being in high school.
Oh, my gosh. Yvette, that was all going on before the competition?
Richie, you had no idea. I mean, it was.
Gagging.
I was trapped. I was so trapped.
Hey,
I
Yvette.
can't believe
Yvette, so when she was in your face, what did her breath smell like? I thought it might have been kind of hot.
I mean, that's what I was texting the producer saying, oh, my goodness, she really did have bad breath.
There you have it, kids.
Yvette, okay, I want to know, where does this tension between you two really come? Is there something we didn't see? Or
I mean, honest to goodness, when I heard the interview, 2 episodes ago when the kids were in the audition, and listen, a smart, intelligent choreographer, teacher, is going to whip out her paper and her pen and take shorthand notes of the choreography. I'm sorry, that's me. I mean, and so if we had extra time that we could work with the kids, our own kids, and if Hadley had a moment where she maybe had a spot that she had forgotten, I'm going to share it with her. And so I didn't know until I actually saw the episode when she said, we have to watch out for Yvette. I see her in the audition. She takes out her pen and paper, and she starts writing things down. I think she's the one I have to look out for. I didn't know Christy said that. I mean, I honestly, I hadn't even met Christy. And the comment about Elizabeth's hair, well, if you heard Malin, Amanda's mom, she had said in a joking manner, we're in that circle, she said, well, why don't we just cut it? And then I said in a joking manner, as we were joking the day before, and it was all okay, I just say, hey, are you talking about the real hair or the fake hair? Not saying it in a bad way.
Right.
And then I didn't know what day it was and what time it was, and that we're going to spark this, big. If you're going to advertise that you've got fake eyelashes or eyelash extensions and hair extensions, if you're going to advertise it, and then the next day you're going to be really sensitive about it, then don't tell people.
Right.
You know what? I'm from the Midwest.
Fair
I'll
enough.
just tell you, the little Southern girl.
Me too. I'm a Minnesota girl.
We don't do hair extensions really here in this area. We don't do that.
We grow
I don't
natural.
like hair extensions.
Word, Yvette.
Get that natural hair.
I did not know they were hair extensions until they advertised it the day before. Then the next day, it's a big sensitive manner. You know what? They haven't shown it on TV yet, but I apologize to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't know the next day you're going to be so sensitive about it.
She was having a rough day.
Yeah.
She was.
I don't think it was all you.
Let's talk about your meeting with Shayna. Watching it back now and also hearing Hadley call you out for getting involved, do you regret going over to her hotel room?
Actually, that was my take on that. That was set up in a positive manner. Hey, Yvette, we want you to go give Shayna one of your pep talks. Okay. I'll go give her a pep talk.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher. I'm a mom. I mean, that's what I do. If this child needs some extra dose of confidence, that's my job.
Yeah.
And I can give that back. I mean,
Yeah.
that cost me nothing.
Yeah.
It cost me nothing. So, my big advice every day would be, may the best dancer on the last day win. Whether that's my daughter or not,
Yeah.
may the best dancer on that last day. You never know. The best dancer there could fall. She could fall tomorrow, and she could be maybe out of the competition. So it's just, I think I was totally misread by, I think, Christy at first, and then, wow, 6 days into it, we have that spat in the wardrobe, and she yells at me, did you hear what I said? What's behind that smile? Is it the Joker? Is it fake, or is it Satan?
What did you say back? What did you say back?
I go, really? Why did you have to say it like that? You don't even know me. We're there 6 days. Hadley hadn't danced with her daughter yet. She doesn't even know me. So, I mean, there we go, 6 days, and it gets off onto a really bad foot. So.
Well, listen, we're going to have to move on with our show, but really quickly, we definitely want to have you back. We're so glad that you called.
Yeah.
Please,
Thank you so much.
please give Hadley our hugs and love and support.
Hadley.
She is so talented. If you can give us a little sneak of something. I know you can't tell us very much, but, maybe you can tell us how Hadley's doing as a dancer now or what to expect next week with Hadley.
Okay, next week's going to be interesting. So I think they kind of laid off some of the drama with me this week. It felt like it. It felt like I had a good little. I'm catching my breath, but it's gonna oh my goodness, it's gonna get really good.
Yes.
Okay. It's gonna get really good.
Hadley's ultimate dance competition.
Oh my gosh.
Are we gonna see some extensions pulled out on the floor?
No hair extensions. We're not going to touch that again. We know that's so sensitive now. But Hadley's in a great spot today. She has had a great competition that she attended last weekend that you'll be talking about soon. here after also. So I'd love to go back, Richie. I'm so glad to see you there.
Yeah,
and,
thank you. You sound fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and let the other moms know that we're here supporting them, talking about them, and we love when you guys watch. So thank you so much for calling in. Have a good night and get a little bit of sleep.
Right. Okay, thanks, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Smooches all around.
She sounded really sweet.
Now all of a sudden I feel kind of bad about saying that she had some sort of motive.
Ooh, you sliced her.
Well, but you know what?
I don't know if I feel bad.
The thing is, though, Tony, is that you're seeing what everyone else is seeing.
Yeah.
There are other people that have the same thoughts that you do, and that's part of what we do at AfterBuzz.
Yeah.
Is we want to be the voices of everyone. We want to keep the show going.
Because now I'm kind of like, I don't know, Yvette, I'm sorry.
And again, we have to also remember this is a show, and it's all the power of editing. I mean, every reality show is about stories. They have to make stories, because if it was always just rainbows and butterflies, then it'd be boring, and we kind of have that.
Well, I don't
But I like rainbows and butterflies. Yeah.
Well, those are my two favorite Mariah Carey albums, but I don't want to see them on TV. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Nice.
All right. Well, let's move on. Oh,
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
Real for real.
We got effects up in here.
Shout out to our engineers at ABTV. They're amazing. I love you guys. So let's talk a little bit about practice. Did you guys have any projections going into the practice once the pairs were assigned as to who would do well, who could potentially just blow it, blow chunks on stage? Blow it out of the water. I don't know what. I'm
Zach
sorry.
was
incredible.
Water chunks, all the same thing when you're a dancer. Zach, incredible dancer. Yes. I agree. Incredible dancer. But when they paired him with Brianna, and he was trying to lift her, and I mean, just watching their body types next to each other, Brianna seemed like she was like a blossoming young lady, and Zach
she's taller than him too. I think.
like a big one, but
right,
like
but
taller.
yeah, exactly.
She's a little more developed.
And Zach,
older.
Yeah.
right, and Zach was just this little scrawny Twinkie dude that just like it was just it didn't work. And when we saw him drop her in the rehearsal, I was like, oh my gosh, this was gonna happen on stage. And when we saw the performance, that wasn't there either. So I just thought that might have been a recipe for tragedy.
But the lifts they did do was great. Both of them, like the catch and the arabesque press.
Okay, that's interesting.
Tony, Yvette just texted me. She said, "Don't be sorry. It's okay. I still like you."
And you're not Hitler, Yvette. I'm Team Yvette now. Hashtag Team Yvette.
Yes. There you go. Team hat.
I'm a fan after the phone
Yeah, she was great. Her energy, I felt good. I felt like I could go dance.
Sweet that she wants to give back. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So the group dance we talked about a little bit. The fat suit. Was it too much?
No,
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought she did a great job as far as like, because I mean, when you have a costume like that and you have excess whatever, like you have to work a little bit harder. Your moves won't come as fluid as it normally would. But I thought she worked through it like very well.
she's a strong dancer though.
Yeah.
Brianna's
Richie,
very
yes.
strong.
Talk to me about this choreography. Do you ever think that choreography has age restrictions? I know we talked about like comparing the dancers age to age, but you know what I mean in terms of choreography and the themes and the songs and some of the moves.
Yeah, some moves and some songs can be for me. I wouldn't put age on some of those songs or some of those moves because I feel like you have to consider their age. And you just can't give. Even though these young kids are doing everything, though, I still feel like someone should set some kind of tone, or there should be some kind of limit. So yes, I definitely feel that when it comes to any type of format, you have to definitely consider the age when you're, giving these kids the song and the choreography.
I was a little nervous about having a dance about the economy, like having little kids do it. That to me, I was a little nervous, worried as to whether that would be translated.
Presidential one?
No, the presidential one was fine. The one where we had, actually it was Hadley. It was Hadley and
Lexine.
Oh,
Yeah,
about
Lexine.
being about the 1%
Yes.
and 90%.
Yeah.
Well, Yvette, don't slay me for this one, but I thought Lexine ate all that crap. I thought Lexine was still the star of that combo, because one thing about Lexine that I liked about her was I like these dancers to be strong, like be strong and really dance for your life, like that. Everything you should attack that choreography. You should, and some of these studio dancers and competition kids don't perform like that. And I thought Lexine really ate the concept and really displayed that character to a T. Yeah. And I thought it was a great concept. That was great.
Yeah.
It shows why she was the winner, because I mean she really got into her character and her characters in this episode. So
and one thing that we've been talking about in terms of the preliminary challenges is that for the last last 2 episodes, the girls that won those preliminaries ended up doing the worst in the finals. So the fact that she was able to live up to that standard, dance next to a top dancer, and then still do well, I think was really impressive. And actually, let's move into the competition. Richie, what did you feel like you were judging on for this one? Because I think it was Yvette that mentioned, are they going to place emphasis on facial expression? Are they looking at everything? Are they looking how much does the group number weigh on things when Brianna had the lead? What were you looking at?
I mean, in the actual competition of it all, for me, I was definitely looking for what the story was. Did they play the character? Did they work together? And what's interesting is that, yes, the story was there, and yes, I thought they danced their hearts out and basically showed us who they were. But what's interesting is that when it's a duet, that means that there's 2 stars. And what you might have seen was people being a star and someone playing co-star. Like, for instance, Lexine and Hadley's number. Hadley could have ate that up solo. Remove Lexine and let Hadley do everything she did. But she kind of gave her the nod, which is why you might have felt like Lexine went for it. Also, Lexine was like, I'm going to dance my tail off because she's actually better than me.
Yeah. She had to pull up.
You got what I'm saying?
There was a good give and take relationship with the two of them.
Or like when it comes to Zach and Brianna, which that was a great piece to me.
It was.
But the problem was, and most times, definitely when it comes to male dancers and female, who men have to lift, they always kind of let the female shine.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what happened again. So for me, I was just trying to see where I'm going to get the complete package: the story, the character, and the actual duet of it all. And but then you go to Asia. And you go, who was Asia's partner? Asia and Tua. But then now you have those 2 definitely shining in their own way, definitely going for it, but there's no duet. They're so about them.
Connection. Or Jordan and
Jordan and
Amanda
C. I mean, Jordan left Earth.
Seriously, Jordan was like, you know what? Done.
Jordan was like, pew.
So for me, I was just looking for the complete package, was performance, the theme, and just like, can I just get like a nice duet?
Yes. Well, let's go through these numbers one by one. So we had the group number with Brianna and her, I guess, is fat suit the right terminology?
Sure.
Yes, let's say it and brand it.
Her full-figured outfit?
No, I was waiting. Look, there is no way you can sugarcoat that. That was a fat
Her big girl suit. Her full-figured woman outfit.
Her big girl outfit. Okay.
I was waiting for Abby to clock her and be like, yo, really, Brianna? Like,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I was like, why didn't Abby call her fat?
Abby, was this an autobiographical
I know.
choreography?
Abby wanted it actually to be more.
It's like bigger.
She was like, that was okay. But she's like, we could have really went for it. She's like, I think we should have went like 2 more notches. And then
she wouldn't have been able to get off the ground.
Well, yeah, but I think Abby really wants to see them really learn and appreciate it even more. Because Brianna is a fighter, so she would have danced no matter how much they had added. I think she wanted them to really understand that, yes, we need a little bit more.
Well, and also what they gave her, you couldn't really tell, like, well, wait, is she just a little bigger than everybody else?
Yes.
Or is it part of the costume?
Yes.
Which is good costuming, you know?
Like, how did I know she was a thick girl? I was like, well, the cameraman, they called you out, Brianna.
Like, damn, what did you take between that number and your duet? That's your ultimate slim down. I want some of that.
That was 9 mochachinos, man. She went for it. Boston Market, Roscoe Chicken and Waffles.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
But she killed it. Emotionally,
she was in it.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Completely. She even flew off the ground. It was awesome. And then we had also, Abby, she makes this comment. She said, I have to praise you guys because in the real world, one bitter, nasty kid can start the bandwagon and then it's all downhill from there. Did you guys notice how the camera actually panned to the moms in the back, to Yvette and to Christy?
Yeah, of course.
Set up.
It's a telltale. It takes one bad apple to ruin a bunch.
Okay, so moving on to, that's totally true.
That's what it is.
Completely. Pageant duet, Elizabeth and Madison. Thoughts?
My eyes went straight to Madison.
And Madison was really strong.
Yeah.
Elizabeth's beautiful, though. Strikingly beautiful.
Yeah, the only thing I got out of that was Elizabeth's makeup. I felt that routine was just a bunch of walking, right? Was that where they started on the steps and came down?
Yes.
Yeah, it was kind of like, where's the meat of it?
I think that's why when they cut to me, I was like, what did I just see?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but their makeup was fierce.
I didn't feel like I saw the character.
Right.
I didn't see I know that they showed, especially towards the end, the cattiness of the pageantry backstage, but I didn't see any of like the fake smiles that I think I was hoping to see, like the cheesiness, and that for me was missing.
And again, it's the thing about they're handed choreography, so they can only do what they can, and they don't know as much as we all.
Right.
We might have been thrown them like, okay, well, let me give her a couple of looks, but they're like 13, 12. They've never even been to a pageant.
Right.
But they've been on stage.
Yeah, they've been on stage, but they still haven't acted in that manner before.
I suppose. Then we had the duet about the economy, which we discussed. Hadley and Lexine were amazing.
Yeah.
They were beautiful, even though I didn't totally understand the concept.
What didn't you understand? It was rich people. It was Romney and
No,
not that one.
That's the political one.
Oh,
this is the tent and the rich girl.
It was
no. Romney's a millionaire, and the 1%. He, if you fall in the election, and then Lexine's Skid Row. I mean, what weren't you getting?
The purse.
She dropped her purse.
I know.
She dropped her purse in the wrong neighborhood.
Like, you thought she was like raking in some dough. She's like, yes, I'm about to move on up.
Lexine looked like Pocahontas, though. I was like, is that a teepee she came from?
It did look like a teepee.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. Is that it didn't totally. It was like what? Like.
But gee, they explained it though.
Is this like Paris Hilton entering the simple life? Like what's going on?
I can't.
But don't get me wrong.
It could have been.
Don't get me wrong. They really did look beautiful. I just didn't understand the concept. That's all I'm saying.
It was just have the haves and have not.
Yeah.
LA typically.
Hadley dropped that purse in the wrong neighborhood.
Right.
She found out that it was that person. She should have judged that person if they don't have as much
I'm not
money
in
as she
Beverly
does.
Hills anymore.
It was very bad. It took a wrong turn.
Now, normally you wouldn't go back and get that purse. You would leave that purse.
She would have kept it pushing.
Like, that's all right. Y'all can have it.
Then we had the hip hop number, Addiction to Technology, where we had Amanda, who supposedly had a leg up because she's booked jobs based on hip hop. And then we had Jordan, little prima ballerina. But
no, vice versa.
Jordan
always books.
That always books.
We ain't mad
I was
at
about to say, if
drinking
Amanda
tonight?
always books, she needs to sit down.
Yeah, no, Jordan always books.
Jordan was the blonde hair one. And
okay, well then.
Yeah, and Amanda was a new squirrel to hip hop.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But however, though, I don't care how Jordan was sick. Jordan had the head crumb.
She was
She had everything.
Listen.
Like her swag, she was swagged out.
She
Pimp
was.
Dash, please
I thought
excuse my
Amanda
dope ass swag.
held her own though. I mean, for a prima
did.
ballerina who hasn't taken hip hop before.
I mean, but this is
That is so
okay.
kind
But
of
so
you.
from my standpoint, when I watched it, I get it. But I'm just like, when I watch Jordan dance, it's like, no matter what it's been up until this point that Jordan has done to me, she's just giving it her all. But she's supposed to be the hip hop girl, whereas all these other girls aren't the hip hop girls, but they have problems stepping in other realms. You got what I'm saying? So when I saw Amanda, I'm just like, yeah, you're good, Amanda, at the technique. Woo! But then when it comes to doing other things outside of what you do, you go ear. And to me, that's not good enough.
Right.
And her badass look was more of like a blank stare.
Yes, it was like I've never been here before.
Not even that. It was just flat out.
Like just that like she smelled something bad or I don't know.
Because there's something about hip hop where I always laugh because I'll just admit it. On all these other dance shows, hip hop is a little bit of a downgrade. They kind of play it to the left, but that's because there's no rules.
Yeah.
It requires you to be who you are, and that's what they're afraid of. Because technique is like a vocabulary book full of things. And they just lay it in different order.
Yeah.
Do what you take. You've been in. Okay, now let's try like this. And everyone just knows what that is.
Yeah.
Hip hop is like, good luck.
It's very
That's
abstract.
a really good point. I never really thought about it that way.
Oh, that's why it's not on these other TV shows. Because the kids have never been there before, so they never went to a club.
It's not hip hop. It's jazz funk.
Oh.
It's jazz funk.
Street jazz.
It's commercial
And that's why
jazz.
on the first episode I was like, sorry children, what I just saw was not hip hop.
Right.
Have a good day.
Womp, yeah.
Let's talk about so now we can talk about the political campaign.
Yeah.
Did you think that Zach took a little bit of a back step on this one?
Yes.
Because he really, I thought, looked incredible during his solo the week before, at least what they showed, his layouts, his extensions. And then for this one, I mean, right out of the gate, don't get me wrong, I thought they were incredible. Brianna with her little, you know,
Pirouette,
A little
slip.
Bam.
and the
I can't do that.
développé all the way up to the ceiling. But
She's dope though, but the reason why she stood out was power. And that's one thing that drives me insane. I say this time and time again on the show is that when they lack that hunger in their choreography. Brianna, I mean, with her, that triple pirouette into the split, it was like whack, 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 whack. And it was like she stuck it, committed, and it was hot.
Right.
Whereas Zach, I don't know, Zach may have great extension.
He did. He gave you one.
And
Behind the podium.
He did.
He gave you.
But I feel like Zach, just from watching him, is because they don't show him a lot, but he's just, he's a guy, so of course he gets the P points. So P points, Giselle. And then
points.
Well, last week it was penis points, but we got to be PC.
I know, I got you.
And there's no.
They put me on probation for that one. Not literally. like between us.
Yeah. And I feel like Brianna, like you said, she fights for it. Where I think Zach could fight for things a little bit harder.
I think Zach went into what most men do when they're with a woman, which is he went into very make sure she's okay mode. Yeah. I feel if you really go back and watch it, he's performing, but he's performing like they make sure she's okay. Like he's got to be his the guy for her.
Well, especially after dropping her.
Yeah, after dropping her, and I'm glad that lift got taken out. But even still, that's why she was able to go whack because she knew he's gonna support her, and he had to just be like, I gotta catch her.
Yeah.
His whole kind of demeanor was like, I've got to support her.
Right.
She's the belle of the ball.
What I loved about this is that even though politics, this whole thing isn't necessarily for that age, they exuded power.
Yes.
And that was the theme of the dance, and that's why it worked.
Yeah.
They knew how to just stand there.
And kill it.
Boom.
Yeah.
And they had good chemistry together for how much Zach was probably playing the role of the male and being secure.
Right.
They looked good dancing together. It wasn't like, because you see a lot of duets, like you said, Richie, where the guy's playing his role, and it's boring. The girl's beautiful, pretty.
Yes.
There's all the technicality, and the dude's just the muscles.
Yes.
And tonight there was a nice a marrying and a mix of that, unfortunate, but also performance that was really eye-catching. And then plus the colors are great. It was just a very well thought out piece, I thought.
I loved it. I thought they did great.
If I were Zach, after Brianna did her little, I would have said, you need to choreograph me a little, and then we can keep on going.
But they can't.
I'm just saying.
They're 13.
He's just saying.
He's like, when you're
I'm
taking
just
me
saying, I
out.
know.
Well, the next little area, let's tie it together. Tua and Asia. They both were in the bottom two. Were we surprised?
About Asia, maybe possibly.
About Asia.
There's only going to be one ultimate dancer. Someone's got to go. Words of Asia.
I thought Asia did a very good job. For her to be so young and to be so into it, I definitely enjoyed what she was doing. Tua, I felt like the moves were there, but just the facial expressions were not there. I still felt like there was a second clip, and I was like, she looks lost. She has no, from here down, it knows what it's doing, but from here up, it's where am I at?
Right.
Yeah.
Major disconnect.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, poor Tua, we wish her the best.
We wish
She
you well
went
in your future
home.
endeavors.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing more between Christine and Yvette, though.
Oh, of course.
Before we move on to news and gossip, a.k.a. Mr. Richie Jackson in the house, I just want to remind all of our listeners, all of our viewers, that our lineup here at AfterBuzz TV is incredible. Jason and I both are on other shows as well. We have over 50 shows this fall season, so most likely, if you have a favorite show, we're covering it, we're recapping it, we're bringing in cast members, celebrity fans, everything that you want to know that you don't see while you're watching, including this little guy over here. So please, this is a brand new show. We've never done this. This is a new show in general, let alone a recap show. So if you like us, make sure you rate us on iTunes, give us 5 stars, like us on YouTube, and leave us comments. Whatever you want to see more of, feedback, we all read every single little thing because we want to bring you the best possible shows. So let's do a little news and gossip, shall we?
AfterBuzz TV News.
Drop that funky joint.
Hey. Mr. Richie Jackson in the house.
Yes.
So, tell me about this experience. What made you want to do the show?
Oh gosh. I really want to do it because I really want to give my opinion. As small as that may sound, but it meant so much to me. It speaks volumes when I can be able to tell people what I've always felt about, judging and my idea of dance. I feel like right now there's just so many dance shows out that I still feel like they're not telling the truth. somewhere and everyone's playing the game,
know.
and I get it. And I'm just like, you guys, they don't really get it because I'm still in it. I'm still working. I'm still having auditions. I'm still on video sets and putting together tours. Like, I'm in it, so I know what's real. And I was just like, I would just love to just get out there and inspire people and tell them what's really going on because just no one knows.
Yeah.
When you did that first little, I don't want to say with a casting call, but when you're picking out the finalists and the three of you each had choreography.
Yes.
How did you choreograph that for a 6 to 13-year-old? Like, and you'd never met them before either.
Right.
So how did you decide, okay, I'm going to throw this in there, I'm going to throw that in there? Like, did you ease up at all? Or what kind of an audition was that for you?
For me, it was about me being honest with them and saying, listen, this is the world you guys want to step in. This is what you're going to have to do. And I had to give them, a little bit of jazz, pop, funk, and it was going to be fast. I wasn't going to hold back. And at the end of the day, my life is on the line too because people are watching saying, okay, well, if you're a judge, which is why I love this show so much because the judges also got a chance to show what they actually do as opposed to just saying,
Right.
Because I'm always like, well, then let me see you get up there and do something.
Yeah.
When I'm watching the other shows. Right. So what I'm saying is that for me, I was like, yes, I'm about to dance, and I'm going to show them what it's like at a real audition for me.
Yeah.
Those are steps you would have got at any audition today.
Boom.
Well,
Boom.
hey, listeners, if you want to see what your co-hosts can do, or I
have videos on YouTube.
I don't know if I have those chops anymore. It's been a little while, but if you want to see it, I don't know. Maybe we can convince Robin or Richie to give us a little something in the dance studio.
Yes.
I'll beatbox.
No, I can.
Or maybe we'll pull out some old pictures too to just give us a little extra embarrassment.
Everything.
So Richie, how did you make time for it? What was the time commitment like? What were you still doing at the same time? Like, is this something that you dropped everything for? How did this work into your crazy schedule? Because the last year for you has kind of been
bananas.
Great word.
When this first came up, I was actually it came up in February, and at that time I was putting together the Born This Way Ball with Gaga for her, her new tour.
Who? I'm just kidding.
My girl. So, then it came back up again. So the final time it came I was in New Zealand. And it was like, they're interested in you. They really like you. It's between me and, they didn't name the other person, but I had to do an on Skype interview. So they basically asked me, why do you want this job? Why should you be the one? Blah, blah, blah. And I went in. I was like, listen, no one else is going to keep it real. Everyone else is going to play the game. And I'm like, and I was like, and I understand dance. And I said, and it's not because I was technically trained. It's because I really understand it because I live it. I still go out. You got me? And I was like, and I represent most people who don't understand the little innuendos. I get it, but I still think about people who listen, that must have been the ugliest turn I've ever seen in my life, but you were living. And I felt something. That's what people really feel until they tell you, sorry, that turn, your foot. Nah. So what I'm saying is, I was in New Zealand, and they were like, okay, we got to have you. We want you. I did the interview. I was super excited, and it took about 10 weeks to film. Yeah. So as soon as I got back from the first leg of the Born This Way Ball tour is when I started to film this show.
Wow.
Yeah.
You better work, literally.
Yes. But I was around the world and
Does this sort of put you back into audition mode? Like, is there ever a time when you think about when you were younger, like your first audition or that first job that you booked?
It puts me in a place where, especially when you're young and you're like where these young girls are, and Zach too, sorry, you're at a time where you're not really thinking. You're not afraid. You don't really have an identity. You're so uninhibited. You're just I'll do whatever. So seeing them go for it like that, which is even now, now I have auditions, people know who they are now. So they're like, what's too much? How should I dress? How should I perform this dance? Whereas young kids are just I want it. I'll do whatever. So seeing these young kids dance again, I was like, there is a God.
Hallelujah.
The dance gods are still with us. There's hope when I watch them dance. Yeah.
Would you ever cast them in any of your projects?
Yes. A few of them. I can't say names now, but definitely yes. Because these girls, and Zach, sorry, Zach, they're young, but I was surprised. Because I remember when I was 6. When we were all 6, I don't know if any of y'all was moving like that. I wasn't.
Well,
I was watching MC Hammer.
Yeah. I was a special child, so yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Back in '86 when I was 6, I was
okay.
Definitely I had the best développé ever.
Okay.
I wasn't double opinion, but I was shaking and driving something.
Right, but yeah, I mean, we gave a little groove, but I was just, but the level that these kids are at, I'm like, wow, you're 6. I mean, looking at Asia,
Yeah.
it's this that bothers me, and the way she knows how to dip her body. See, no one was doing that though.
Hey, Richie, but you know, this is a reality show, and you know, with shows like Idol and X Factor, the judges sometimes have issues amongst themselves.
Right.
Do you feel when you're listening to some of their critiques, like Robin, for instance, you're like, what are you saying? Like, do you disagree, and do you guys actually go at it before you film?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I mean, when we go at it though, it's not like I hate you.
Right.
It's just like we all come from different backgrounds. Abby's technical all day. You got to be perfect or thank you for coming. You got me?
Sure.
Whereas Robin's looking for a star. You know,
Sure.
she was always talking about sass, but she's looking for that real star. I'm looking for the things in between. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to be a star. But if you move me, I'm in for you. So when we
The emotional.
yeah, it's the emotion. It's just the stuff that you feel from the inside. You can't even explain it. You know what I mean? But I can understand that. So when we all have to, deliberate, I'm like, I'm not. I mean, I know what you're saying. Her feet weren't perfect, but she killed everybody. You know what I mean? Which is at this point, even now, Asia.
Yeah.
Asia's not perfect, but when you watch her, you're like, yep, bam.
You don't think she's a little like too much sometimes, like a little too pageanty or a little
Well,
forced?
for me, when I watch her, and also because we're watching like up close and personal, that also takes you up another notch. But for me, I'm just like, you're 6. Wow.
Yeah, I love her. I mean, she's one of my favorites too. But
you're letting these 12-year-olds have it. You know what I mean? But then sometimes the age does show up. It really just depends on the choreography in the song. But, we have gotten into it, but not like on some but just like frustrated because we all come from different backgrounds, and it weighs heavily on who we think is it and who should go home. Yeah.
Well, you are definitely a busy man these days. We're very grateful that you even took the time to stop by. What are some projects planned right now that you're super excited about, aside from, of course, Lady Gaga, but we'd love to hear about that as well.
Right. Well, I'm super duper excited about the Born This Way Ball finally coming to the States. It'll be here in January, and it'll go like through March, and I'm so excited about that because I feel like
she's getting a lot of slack these days.
I know.
Why? Like, do you get it? Like, what do you
pictures,
think?
Like, what are you guys feeding her? I saw like. No, look, Us Weekly is probably the most, accurate tabloid I read, and they were showing some pictures of Gaga looking mighty hefty. What's going on, Richie?
Now that
he cannot speak on.
Next question.
I have to ask.
I'm not mad at you. Next question.
Yeah, let's talk about the project.
Yeah, so, I'm super excited about that. So that'll be here in January. I'm also working with an artist from India. Her name is Priyanka Chopra. And she's just looking to break into, pop music. And we just shot her video about 2 weeks ago. So the song will be out. I feel like it's already out. They've been playing it during football on Thursday nights.
All right.
So, yeah.
And you've also been working with electronic artists.
Yes, I have a group called Cruella. And, they're getting ready to go to Australia. So I'm super duper excited about them because I just love new artists, and I love new artists who want to try something different. Because for me, I'll take a new artist any given Sunday over someone already established.
And it's a new style of music too, right?
Yeah, it's a new style of music. Their crowd is just bananas. Who knows what they're on?
Richie, I was wondering, where can I get your haircut? It's amazing. Like, I tried to do that one year, and I was bald for like a whole month.
Wait, what do you mean you were bald?
And the vest and the shoes.
Yeah, I mean, but the hair especially, just the design you have going on, it's very sexy.
Show it to the camera. Give us a little.
See, now, I did this myself.
What? Shut up.
I cut my own hair.
Then how come I was bald?
Listen, I had a couple of hats when I first started.
Gotcha.
Multi-talented individual, people.
Also, squirrels. You have this obsession with rodents. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, don't forget to hit me up at richysquirrel.com. I mean, at Richie Squirrel. What is it called? Just at Richie Squirrel. Sorry. Well, this is how it all went down, because everyone always asks, where'd you get Richie Squirrel from? Why Richie Squirrel? And it really just started off as like a little tiny joke that slipped out of my mouth one day at rehearsal. It was like a room full of girls, and, we're about to get into this, these steps. I was like, all right, here we go, squirrels. And everyone was like, squirrels? And I was like, yes, squirrels. Yeah. So now, the dance, I love the dance industry, but everything is so like still, and I heard this, and I'm going to start using it too. Well, long story short, the kids started to use it. People were saying it, and I was like, is this happening to my
But that's
body
how you
right
know
now?
that you're influential.
I know, but then I had to go ahead and name it, and I was like, there's only one squirrel.
You can evolve
Squirrel.
You could be Richie Chinchilla.
I could be Chinchilla with the kids.
Richie Ferret.
I'm gonna have to go there in 2 years, but right now. So that's how that whole thing came up. So yeah, I was like, I have to crown it, and it's at Richie Squirrel, and you'll get all the squirrelisms.
Boom.
Love it.
From the king.
Well, before we move on to predictions, so Twitter, Richie Squirrel, website, or anything else that we should check out, let our fans know where to find you.
Something's happening on November 1st that I can't talk about now, but November 1st.
But you'll hopefully be back to talk about it then.
Yes, I will be back before then to talk about it. But yeah, for right now, just hit me up on Twitter or Facebook at Officially Richie on Facebook.
Hey, Officially Richie.
Officially Richie.
Let's move on to predictions.
Chinchilla.
Chinchilla. I like that.
AfterBuzz TV.
Predictions.
Y'all better work for these sound effects.
Dude, that's how we roll. ABTV.
Professional.
Oh, this is actually a light day, believe it or not. All right, men, predictions.
I predict that Hadley. Okay, Yvette, I know you're probably still listening and watching.
She's cracking up.
No, I know. I honestly, it's a positive one. I predict that Yvette and Hadley will come out triumphant without the next seasons, and I predict that no matter what drama goes down, they will always handle business and always shine because they have done that consistently in the last couple of episodes. And talking to Yvette tonight, I am a fan, and it takes a lot to get me to become a fan of Evette. So
True.
I mean, you've definitely influenced Jason J. Carter. So yeah, that's.
But you still love Christy.
Well, because she's hot. And them hoop earrings, I mean, just do it for me. Yvette. Yes, Yvette. And Yvette, you have pretty teeth. So, I mean, go
And a
go with
smile.
it. And a beautiful smile. And a great tan.
Chris?
I think they're going to keep at each other's throats for a little bit, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
Tony?
I don't know. I'm starting to get a little worried now that I'm thinking about it. Asia, like I feel like, like the faces and stuff. Like she's a dope dancer, but like I think something is about to happen with her.
Interesting. Okay.
I think they're finally gonna pick it and be like, the faces. It's not something. I don't know. That's just.
Richie said
just feel like
interesting, so maybe
Yeah.
you're onto something. Richie, what can you tell us?
Ooh, that NDA is so big.
That NDA is no joke.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I know you went gaga, but that
All I
check
can
ain't that
tell
big
you
to cover that
is
NDA.
tune in every Tuesday at 9 o'clock.
There you
There
go. Boom.
Yes. And right afterwards, tune in to AfterBuzz TV, where hopefully we'll see more of Richie, more of the girls, the moms, the choreographers. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. This was a really fun show. We went overtime, but you know what? We had a great time. Guys, really quickly, tell us where we can find you.
Hey, friends, you can find me on Twitter at JJCForever and on Facebook at the official Jason J. Carter page.
Ooh, official.
Twitter at Cris Cangero and Facebook Cris Cangero. Straightforward.
More.
You can find me on Twitter at Lounging with Tony or loungingwithtony.com.
Hey. And one more time, big thank you to Mr. Richie Jackson.
Thank you all so much.
You gotta do the little.
Y'all gotta put y'all fingers up for the finger wave.
Make it official.
And the left.
Finger wave.
Yes, a little rock.
At Richie Squirrel. And hey, everyone, so great being here again. You can find me at Giselle Ugardi. Thank you so much. Don't forget to leave feedback, rate us 5 stars, like us, all that goodness, and we will see you at the exact same time next week. Have a good night.
Deuces.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principal.